is Ron Darling. This is Skip Lockwood.
Hi, I'm Ron Swoboda of the 69 New York Mets, and you're listening to MetsMusings with Gary Mack.
Now it's time for some New York Mets baseball talk. Here's Gary Mack bringing you the latest news and analysis from Mets Nation and the world of baseball on another edition of Mets Musings.
And hello and welcome to another edition of Mets Musings. Hope everybody had a great week out there. Hope you enjoyed the roundtable part 2 from last week. Well, we've got good news this week for a change. Yes, good news. The deal for Steve Cohen to buy the New York Mets has gone through. We are waiting in November the other owners to approve. That seems to be the last hurdle. Once that's approved, he will own the team. Looks like it'll be after the season. That's okay. We want it for next season anyway, when we can make some moves over the winter and get somewhere with this team. But Steve Cohen is going to be the new owner of the team unless something goes wrong. The deal gives Cohen a 95% stake in the team, with the Wilpons keeping 5%. It does not include SNY as far as we know. And there has been no word really about the minor league teams, whether or not they are included in the deal or whether or not they will be retained by Sterling Equities, a.k.a. the Wilpons. And we're talking about the Brooklyn Cyclones and the Syracuse Mets and the St. Lucie Mets. Now, I have heard that there is a chance that St. Lucie and Syracuse are in the deal, but Brooklyn will be maintained by the by the Wilpons. No official word on that yet, so we really don't know what the deal is with that. But Met fans are rejoicing as Stephen Cohen will be the new owner of the New York Mets. So what's he going to do? Is he going to keep Brody? Is he going to get rid of Brody? Is he going to keep Rojas or not? Well, we discussed some of it last week in the roundtable, but just to, look at it again a couple of weeks later now, it's a reality, or we hope it's a reality. I guess I'm still pessimistic until I see him at the podium, declaring himself the owner of the Mets. But a lot of people seem to think that what he might do is hire a baseball guy, a strong baseball guy, over Brody, and sort of have Brody report to him and have to approve trades and that sort of thing, and give him another year. I'm not so sure I would do something like that. I personally, if I was him taking over, I would clean house. I'd clean out everybody out of this organization completely and just start anew with his own guys, just start all over again, because there still is an atmosphere here of losing, and you need to get that out of the way. And one way to do that is to clean house. So I would come in and clean house, but hey, we'll see what he has in mind when he takes over. Finally, people are asking, is he going to be a hands-on owner? And those that know him say he wants you to work hard. He demands hard work and long hours. Will he be involved in everything? Probably not, but we don't know. I mean, he is a lifetime Mets fan. Can't be happy with the way the team has performed this season, even though it is this short, stupid exhibition season. He can't be happy by the way they performed, and so he may want to make wholesale changes. We'll see. Does he keep Rojas? I don't think he should. Like I said, I would clean house completely. Did Rojas get a bad deal? Sure. I mean, he had the team going in, spring training, and then had they gone into the year, we could have got a better feel for how he does as a manager, or he would have had time to learn and correct any earlier mistakes. At this point in the short season, he's still making mistakes, and he really is not going to have the time to adjust and learn from those mistakes because it's such a short season, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I said earlier in the season that they were going to win between 25 and 30 games, and that looks to be about where they're going to end up. Didn't check the standings today. Let me give it a quick check and see where they're currently at. But yeah, let's see. New York Mets 21 and 27, so they're right around that 25 to 30 mark that I thought they would win this season. So I don't think it'll get them into the playoffs. There's too many other teams. They're 2.5 back, 3 back as I record this, and some good teams ahead of them in Colorado, and Milwaukee's right there. So it's an uphill battle, even with an expanded playoff format this season. I don't think they'll have the guns to get there. They don't hit in key spots. Their fielding is still questionable. And the pitching staff is just a big question mark now. After DeGrom and Peterson, more or less, Porcello and Walker have not been good. They've been a bust. And Matz is coming back, but he's in the bullpen. I guess they'll keep him there. He's have been awful this year. It's just not been a good year for them. And especially the pitches. They lost Syndergaard in spring training, and that seemed to be the whole note on the whole year. So we'll see where this all takes them and leads them. But, at least there's one bright spot, and that's the Wilpons will not be back next year. At least that's the way it looks. You never can tell with the Wilpons, my friends. Never can tell. They're well, we'll just leave it at that. You just can't tell. And the Mets are they're having a lot of things go wrong this year. Let's face it. I mean, Alonso has really stunk up the place. Yes, he's up there in the home run race, but he looks like Dave Kingman. He either strikes out or hits a home run. There's no in between this year. He hasn't been playing that well in the field, so he's practically been benched. He's been a DH most of the games lately, as Dom Smith, who's having a fantastic year, is getting more playing time at first. And let's be honest, he is the better first baseman. Alonso might be a guy that they consider moving in the offseason. Armand Rosario, terrible this year. Awful. He's another guy that they were counting highly on this year, and he is really bombing. And Andres Jimenez is going to take that job away. He's been hitting. He's been fielding. Even Guillorme's been hitting very good when he had a chance to play. And we know his defense. He's terrific. Second base, shortstop. He can third base. these guys have got to watch it because some of these young guys might come up and take their position. And their best prospect is a shortstop, Maurizio. So, they got to find out what they want to do with Rosario. Do you want to move him to center field? Or, he may be a potential trade candidate as they go into the offseason. He may have enough there that people will still want him, thinking they could straighten him out. All to come as we move on to the end of this wacky 2020 baseball season. And let's take a break and come back after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a PhD in life through baseball? Welcome to Baseball PhD, a tour company for your brain. 30 major league teams, 100 places to see. Let's touch them all as we make the road trip of a lifetime.
Check out my Twitter page at MetsMusings1 and check out a Facebook group. It's at facebook.com/MetsMusings. Go check it out and don't forget to call the hotline. It's 516-619-6341. Okay, and we're back. And, it has been a crazy year. And I don't know if you've been even able to follow the games and watch them. I don't know. I've had a lot of trouble watching the games. I don't know what it is with this year. I don't know if it's because they're so bad or whether or not it's just that, you miss the fans in the stadium. Not hearing anything is very kind of puts me off a little bit. You kind of miss that fans in the stands, the noise and the feeling of being there. But this is the way they chose to play the games this season. But even I was recently talking to former Mets reliever Skip Lockwood, and even he had some pointed comments about baseball in 2020. What do you think of this crazy year this year that is going on in baseball?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't even watch it. It doesn't, it's all exhibition baseball. The Red Sox are playing the Phillies. They're playing the Mets, and nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
They sold away, gave away all their team this year, which, I think they're going to lose some of the real good players they still have. It was a World Series pennant-winning team 3 years ago, and now it's down to, I don't even know the guys that are on the team.
Yeah.
And I go in there a lot. They have me in for events, and I sign autographs. And I'm in the Fenway. He usually wants a homestand. Of course, I haven't been in there this year at all. But the guys are different. I don't recognize them. And when it's just different for me, Gary, because they pitch away from the strike zone now. So
yeah,
when they're pitching to set up their changeup. They're throwing fastballs out of the strike zone so they can throw the changeup. Get them out changeup. And I just never pitched that way. I didn't have a changeup either. But when we pitched, we didn't pitch for to fool the guy with a fork ball or a changeup or something like that. So
right.
I have trouble watching all that stuff. I don't know. Everybody swings for home runs. I guess that's it. Everybody's trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So if you throw them a changeup, they can't do it.
Skip, I think we just old school.
Yeah, I know. You tell me, I look in the mirror, I see it. I can tell you that.
That was Skip Lockwood, former Met and former Red Sox relief pitcher, closer for the Mets, good friend of the late Tom Seaver. And I've got some more with Skip. You'll hear about that in the next week or two, talking about Tom Seaver. But there he was talking about the 2020 baseball season and baseball in general today. He's kind of true. They pitch backwards now. Everybody's trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and it's just not the same game. And the game's going to change a lot this year, I think. I think that a lot of these changes that we see this year, they don't want to say they're going to be permanent, but I believe they're going to be permanent. I think you're going to see a lot of this stuff go on from here, and not sure that I'm crazy about that idea with 16 teams in the playoffs, the 7-inning double headers, and the DH, of course. Definitely not crazy about it. And that stupid rule, the runner on second to start an extra inning game. But I guess Skip and I are just dinosaurs, and we're not the target audience anymore for the baseball market. It's the younger kids, and they want everything quick, and right away, and self-aggrandizement, and not like the old days when you used to be able to sit and watch a ball game. Though, if you go back to the real old days, you go back to the 30s and the 40s and the 20s, baseball games were real quick. They were an hour and a half, 2 hours. And baseball's always looking for ways to speed up the game. Maybe they should go back and see what those guys did. I wish there was a video. We see clips of games from the old days, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Somewhere there's got to be film of a complete game, and maybe the commissioner ought to watch that and see what they did between innings. I mean, the whole biggest thing is there was no TV, so there was no commercials. And then when TV did come in, a lot of times the announcers did the commercial themselves between innings. That way they didn't break away from the action, and it was quicker. Maybe they should go back to doing something like that. Let the commercials be done right by the announcers instead of going to a break and getting a 30-second or 15-second commercial or two 15-second commercials. Let the announcers do it. I remember Mel Allen doing, and Red Barber when they worked for the Yankees in 60 and 61, 1960 and 1961, doing the commercials and opening up Can of Ballantine or holding Gillette razors and that sort of thing. And they would do all of that stuff in between innings. So it was part of their job. And maybe that's something to look at, to go back to, instead of just introducing a commercial all the time. All right, well, let's take a quick look at the schedule. This is going to be a quick show this week because we're working on some other stuff. No guests this week, but the Mets are playing the Phillies tonight, Wednesday night as I record this, and tomorrow night. And then they come home to play 3 against the Atlanta Braves and 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. And Tampa Bay, of course, leading their division, and they've got a real fine baseball team. And we're almost done. The Mets, after that, the Mets will have 4 games with Washington in Washington. So this is the Mets' final homestand of the year. Of course, it doesn't matter like it used to matter because fans can't go. So it really doesn't matter. But they have 2 with Philly on the road left, and then 3 with Atlanta at home, 3 with Tampa Bay at home, and then go on the road to finish the season at Washington. So, and that'll be it for this 2020 season. And kind of, I'm kind of glad in a way. I'm kind of glad. I think we'll all be glad to see 2020 itself end, and kind of glad to see the season come to an end. But don't worry, we'll be here following the winter meetings and bringing in some authors. There's some good Mets books that are coming our way in the off season that I've heard about, and we'll be trying to get a hold of them and get a hold of some of the authors. So there will be Mets Musings. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to Skip Lockwood for saying a few words. And I want to thank you all for listening. And don't forget to subscribe to the show and to check it out on iTunes, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you watch or listen to the podcast. It helps us to grow the show. Hit that subscribe button, and it'll help bring in new listeners. So until the next time, with the new owner in tow, don't forget to keep the faith, to stay optimistic, and let's go Mets. And I'll see you next time on another edition of Mets Musings.